I'm so happy to be with you today. I'm Tammy with Embellish the Story, and I want to welcome you to my little craft channel. I have several new subscribers, so hello and welcome to our little group. It's a sweet group of ladies who are very encouraging and talented, so I am so glad you joined us. So today I have a sweet little project, and it goes pretty fast. It's this little project. I'll show you what I'm doing, and then we'll kind of get started. This is a little accordion envelope pocket pouch. It's really cute. It's made from two junk mail envelopes, and you just open it up, and then you see the little treasure pouches, the little treasure spots in there. So I love doing this, and I wanted to make one with you guys. And I'm going to do this first, and then I'll show you what I'm using on it. But these are two junk mail envelopes, and it doesn't bother me that they have windows. I'm not going to use the windows. And one is even a little bit bigger than the other. The one I just had shown you is two envelopes of the same size, but this one is, one's a little bit bigger than the other, but that's not going to make a difference, I don't think. So I'm going to glue these and give them time to, that's already glued down, give them time to dry for a second, because we need to fold them, and whenever I fold glue that's not dried, I get creases in my fold. So I've learned to let my glue dry, and that keeps me from having those creases, or at least I have a much less chance of having creases. So we don't need the envelope open that way. We're going to open it a different way. All right. So I am using what is left of my Pink Silk Atelier papers. I've been working with that collection from OohLaLa Vintage Treasures for several weeks now, and I'm kind of down to my last few pieces. And so these papers come from the journal kit. They come from, this is postcard kit. They come from lots of places. This is a really pretty collection. It's like a craft room theme. So pretty, lots of pretty dress forms, pinks and creams. It's a lovely collection. And so when I get to the end, and I've done a journal, I've done several things with this, I try to use up as much of the paper as I can, so that's not hanging around my craft room. So you see these are truly scraps that I'm going to be using in this project. This is just what's left. And these envelopes, there's a good chance they might show, and they will show, like right here, I can show you. They show here. See how, so I'm just going to stencil this one like I did that sample one, because then you see stenciling. We could cover the whole envelope, but I just thought I would stencil this one, and then you would not see just a plain envelope. I'm filming this on Friday. I'm not sure if the video will make it to YouTube on Friday. Hopefully I'll get time to finish it up and get it uploaded. That takes a while. But I'm crafting before work, so I'm not sure that I'll have time to get that done. But I'm glad it's Friday. I hope you've had a good week. And I'm excited that you've had some time to join me. It's been the first full week of school, so I'm a little tired and ready for a bit of a rest. It takes my body a while to get used to being back. It always has, even part-time. It takes me a while. So I've just lightly stenciled these. And do that while I'm waiting for it to dry. That one looks really wet. This is a pretty big envelope. They both just look like, you know, 8.5 by 11 paper. But this one was a little bigger. So I've got a fun weekend ahead. I think I told y'all on my last birthday, it was my granddaughter's birthday on Wednesday. And it's my sweet daughter-in-law's birthday today. And it's my son's birthday Monday. So 3 of the most precious people in my life have birthdays the same week. So that's exciting. So tomorrow, I'm planning on cooking a very random dinner because it's going to be people's different favorites, which kind of don't match. And we just have a little family dinner. And celebrate those sweet people's lives. I'm so glad they were all born. Such a blessing to spend time with family. All right, I did that side. So I've done these. I don't know if these envelopes have had time to dry. Hopefully they have. Okay, let's see. This one's the bigger one, so it's going to be the one that goes on the outside. And I know I'm going to cover one whole side of this. So while they're drying, before I need to start folding, I'm going to go ahead and cover this one side. Because I want to give it as much time to dry as I can before I start folding. This is probably my favorite page in that whole collection. There's always one that she does that just stands out to me. And this one is the one. It's this part right here that is so captivating to me. So I think I'm going to cut this border off. These print borderless, but my computer doesn't want to print my printer doesn't want to print borderless. And it has something to do with the way my printer talks with the way the printer and the laptop talk to each other. And I have tried to work that out with HP until I finally gave up. It just was too frustrating. So I gave up on that, and I just cut the borders off. It's really time for me to get a new printer, a new paper trimmer, a new glue gun, and I'm just not wanting to do it, y'all. So I just improvised. All right, so I'm going to cover, let's see. This part won't be covered. That part will, and the one whole side. So let's cover this side because it's got the windows. And I'm just going to eyeball this and tear the rest. Hopefully my little Xena will not get cranked up today. My husband's downstairs with her, and she's usually okay if somebody's down there with her. She just doesn't like being down there by herself if somebody's up here having fun. So I think she'll be okay since he's down there keeping her company. All right. I think I'll have to trim this a little bit, but isn't that pretty? That's just gorgeous. All right. So let's put this down. I'm going to try to make this glue as thin as possible so it doesn't bleed through. edges good. Mind frame, yeah. Always forget to check. Let's see if that's enough. Then we'll smooth it down good. Line these edges up. Okay. All right. I think that's good. I'm going to need to trim this side a tiny bit right here. I don't want to get my envelope. So, here we go. There we go. There, that's good. So I've got that part done. And then I'll have to cover this once it's folded. So let me go ahead and fold this one. So this one's going to go inside. So this one will go like this. And I'm going to fold these parts, excuse me, on the inside. That gives them much less danger of, well, you're still going to see it. Well, let's see, do I want to do that? I'll cover it that way. I think I'll do it like this. So for this second envelope that goes inside, I'm just going to fold it in half. Hopefully it's dry. And then I'm going to cut the top to make the little pockets. I'm just going to trim this top. I think I did a pretty good job. Did I? Yeah, and you can see that that's a junk mail envelope once it's open. And that doesn't bother me because of just the nature of this journal. And you know what? I glued that together a little more than I wish I had. It's okay. All right. So let's find something pretty for here. This is a little sewing machine image. It's not quite. Let's see. I think she's too big. Let's see what we want there. Oh, she's too big. I've got all kinds of images here, so let me find them. Maybe I'm going to go with this sewing machine. These are awfully pretty, but I'm kind of thinking those on the front. Let's do the sewing machine inside. Okay, there it is. So that's pretty. Let's see, I think it cuts here. So what I'm going to do is collage it. So let's see how this fits. So that fits there. So I'm definitely going to have to collage the edges a little bit. Especially here. I can leave that there because it's stenciled, but I don't like that window showing there. So let's use this bit here, and we'll use, well, that pretty much will do it. Because I am, okay, so that'll pretty much do it. I'm going to tear it so it looks a little more collaged and not such a straight edge. I'm going to put that there. So I think I'm going to do it like that. Okay. I need to ink that. I'm using spun sugar, distress oxide. Let me find my, well, let me see if I can ink with this. Here's one. This is what I use for my antique photo, so it's going to be a little brown mixed with the pink. But I like that. Sometimes I do that combination on purpose because I like the way that looks. I just think that's a pretty combination. Actually, lots of times I do that combination on purpose. Okay, let's see. Might put a trim there, so let's leave room for a trim there. And then we'll get this like this. All right. No, I don't want that raw edge. Okay, so let's glue this down. I'll put it pretty close to the edge, but not right on it. And then we'll put this down. Is that crooked? I need to straighten it. Okay, and then we've got that collaged. That's simple. There we go. Okay. So there's that. I almost panicked there for a second. I thought I had done the wrong side of the envelope. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead. So what we're going to do, let's do this right quick. We're going to take this envelope, and this one is my bigger one. So if you're using two different sizes, my bigger one's doing this. The other one, I used two of the same size envelope. So this is very forgiving. I'm going to line these up at the bottom. Then I'm going to put a straight glue here and straight glue there. And that'll let it accordion. That'll let it be like an accordion. So I'm just going to do the glue there. And then I'm going to do glue on the back. Then I'm going to line the two bottoms up. So my pockets are on the top and my fold is on the bottom. All right. So I'm lining these up. They're a little off center, so I better fix that. And now I have my little pockets. And they can dry while we are working on this part, because we've already covered that part with that pretty print. And now let's cover this part. And you know, I think that's big enough for this dress form. You think? Let's see. Yeah, she's gonna fit. Let's do her. She's so pretty. Yay, that's gonna fit. So let's do her. She's gorgeous. I don't know. Let's just tear it up. Alright, so I'm going to have to tear off. Let's see where we want it to fold. I'm going to have to go ahead and fold this, so it's time. Hopefully I let it dry enough. It might crease, y'all. So I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch. I've got glue on my fingers. I'm going to leave about a 1/2 inch here. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to fold it down. There's a natural break right there. I'm going to fold it down to that. Let's see how much that left me. I felt the fold. I felt the crease. Yep, I felt it. I knew it. So if I had let this dry better, I don't think it would have creased, but it did. Now she's not going to fit. Well, I think I'm going to put her on there anyway and then just crease her. Or just put her in the fold. And put her anyway because I like her so much. She'll fold fine. Let's take a little bit more off of her. cutting her down until she goes on the top. I'm going to do it like this. Take a little off of each side. So you can kind of see why I stenciled, because that gives me some decor on my envelope, because I knew it would show. This would be awesome with coffee dyed envelopes too. I just didn't have any. All I had was plain. I need to ink this first. I need to ink my whole envelope. Isn't it amazing what inking does? It's just like, it finishes it. Especially if you're a tearer like me. Those torn edges need a little something. Okay. So let's do this. I'm just going to use a little bit so that this glue, you can't see it. You know, sometimes you get those glue ridges if you use a lot of glue. So I'm trying to avoid that. I'm going to let this dry for a while before I fold it again. But I know I'm going to put something here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now what I have, okay, so I've shown this in another video. This was a box, an oatmeal box I covered with some of my offcuts from the digital set from Pink Atelier, and this was my Crystals and Pearls Kit Club goodies that I stuck in here. I also stuck the leftover trims and laces from making my journal. This is trims and laces, some of them, not nearly all of them, but some of them that came with the kit, and I just tied them on. So I thought I would use some of these on this because I have just enough to use them. So let's see. Get that untied. I just tied it in a bow and pinned it on there. Come on. Come on. I don't want to make y'all watch me fiddle with this. Okay, there we go. So I've got all these pretty trims and laces left. And I think, let's see. This is so pretty. So that's definitely going. This is a pretty pink. And I think I will put that there on the bottom. I think that's going to be perfect. Let's see. So that's the edge. Try to straighten that out. I didn't turn on my flat iron, so I'm just going to do that by hand. Okay. I'm going to put this on with a hot glue gun. And I know I'll burn my finger. My poor fingers stay. Burned half the time. Okay. There's this one too, and it would be pretty there. Also, well, let's see. This is going to go above it. Let's look at this one. Oh, that's pretty there. Let's see. And then this will be above it. I don't know. I think I kind of like just these two. So I think I'm going to do less is more here. And leave it like that. Okay. So this is going to go on this side. So let me go ahead and put it there. Before I do that, and I should have already done this on the other side, I'm going to ink this envelope before I put on anything else. And I should have inked the inside pockets, but I didn't. So I'm going to do my best here. Oh, we could put a trim up there. Forgot about that. I'm just going to ink the edges of this right quick. Okay, let's put a trim up. Let's see if we like to trim up there, because I have such pretty trims left. Let's see about this. Oh, that's pretty there. We could use this one again, though. We could use it like that. We could use it like that. Kind of like it like that. The same. What do you think? Can you see? Where's that other one? It needs to be ironed. I kind of like this one, the same on both sides, because that kind of just gives it a little cohesion. You like it that way or this way? Like it that way. I'm going to bring it down because that is going with the folds up there, so it'll be okay. All right, let's do that. How do you like that? Okay. So we're going to put it here like this. Okay. And the folds up there. So I think we're okay. I should have moved that a little bit. Let's just put this down a little bit more. All right. So now we've got our accordions. Cool. They're still a little bit wet. And then we're going to put a trim here. So it's going to be folded like that. So let's put this trim there. Okay. This is so pretty, y'all. Look at that. Can you see that? I love it. It's hard for me to use what I have left. But if I don't use it, I don't really enjoy it. Y'all, you know, I've told you I hoarded these kits for 3 years before I actually worked with one. And oh, it dried on me too fast. Let me get it down. And I'm not the only one that hoards Doreen's kits. If you're hoarding it, there's more coming. I finally figured out there's more coming. And you can, and I get more joy out of using it than hoarding it. So I finally quit hoarding. Okay, I made that harder than it needed to be. All right. Let's trim this. All right. Pretty. I've got some glue strings. That's the thing I don't like about the glue gun. Those strings. All right, now if I fold this right now, I know it's going to crease. So I think I'm going to wait to fold it because it really needs, there's so much here it might crease anyway, but I have much less chance of it creasing if I will wait and be patient. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tie this back and make my tassel again. This is the way I'll make tassels lots of times, and lots of times, especially with these kits, I'll just tie all the trims together so I can keep them together. This is from these trims and this cute little dangle. Look, it's made out of a spool of thread to go with the theme of the kit, which was Pink Silk Atelier. I think I looked it up. I think I remember it being like a French word for sewing room or work room, or I think it was work room, something like that. Anyway, wouldn't it be fancy if I said, welcome to my atelier? That would be fancy. Such a pretty word. All right. So I can just put that right back on this box and enjoy that a little bit more. Oh, I forgot this trim. So I'll put this back on here. And then what I'm going to do is wait for this to dry, this little envelope, so that maybe I don't get a crease. I'm not going to make you so that maybe I don't get a crease. And then I will be right back, and we will see how this really turns out, and we will put some little things, some little goodies in the pocket. I'll be looking for some things to put in the pocket while it dries. Okay, I'll see y'all in a second. Hey y'all, okay, I folded this without the camera on, and I thought the camera was on. So what I did was I just folded it. It's still got a little crease in it. I only waited about 30 more minutes, but it wasn't quite long enough. I did stick some goodies down in here. Well, I thought the camera was on, but it wasn't. I stuck a little postcard. I've got the little accordion pockets that are precious. These are some button cards I did on my last video, and they can go right in here. This is a great way to send somebody a surprise. We can even tie it up with something. Tie it up a little bit. Or we could put, right here, we could put this Velcro dots and Velcro it closed. We could tie it if we want it to stay shut. This is just a piece of fabric that's on my desk. So this, I just did it really quick. So this is a very versatile, cute little embellishment for your journal, or just to send somebody a surprise in. Isn't that precious? I'll do that one. Okay. So I've got a couple of these. I made this one. Where's the other one? Oh, here it is. I made this one just to practice, and then I made this one with you guys. So thanks for joining me. Oh, look. Wait. Look at that. Isn't that precious on there? To decorate that. You can decorate the front any way you want. You can even put a pocket back here. So many cute things. That could be a pocket. You can stick something in there. Just glue it down. Stick something in there. So many cute things to do. Thank you guys for joining me. Happy birthday to the 3 of the sweetest people in my lives that have my heart. I love you very much. And you guys, I hope to craft with you soon. Always remember to embellish the story. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.